When you study mushrooms, right? Mushrooms are heterotrophic beings. They are heterotrophs, meaning that they are only healthy growing in dark, wet, damp areas. This is why you see them growing on trees. They don't have a good communication with the sun. They don't produce photosynthesis. They cannot convert sunlight to energy. They are starch-based beings. Just like a people who don't communicate with the sun, who are starch-based beings. And then you have plants, which we call phototrophic entities or agents. Why do we call them phototrophic agents? Because they have melanin, which we call chlorophyll, and they convert sunlight into energy, like a people, us. Black folks have condensed sunlight in them. We have condensed sunlight in us. And they don't get along with the sun. So if you got condensed sunlight in you, and they don't get along with the sun, doesn't this answer why they don't get along with us? See, all of this is more than physical. Most of this stuff is energy. Psychology goes beyond the physical body. Energy has a psychology. And it tells you what your diet is, who you should be dealing with. Right? Principles have a psychology. I've always said that STDs wasn't only transmitted sexually. I've been saying it for years now. Through microbial agents, which we call microbes, they hold pathogens that carry enzymes that is transferred into our bodies. These pathogens that carry these enzymes or viruses into our body, it is something called Chlamydiae parasites. Look it up. It's called Chlamydiae parasites. And these parasites you will find in the bowels of animals. They hate plants. They just love being in the bowels of animals. Why? Because the plasma in the bowels of animals help them to grow. It helps their intelligence. Not only that, when the animal is deceased or killed, these parasites do not die. So these Chlamydiae parasites lay bacteria, which we know as, when they hit the human body or laid in the human body, as chlamydia. That's right, STD. So all they did was take viruses, different levels of viruses, and give them names. Herpes is a virus. HIV is a virus. AIDS is a virus. Gonorrhea is a virus. Right? So when you are stuck on labeling certain things, because you have biologically patented them to own these things that you are labeling, which are only viruses, you become the owner of the disease that you are labeling. As long as you can create a patent of a cure or something that is similar to a cure, right? Because you really don't want to cure them. And I'm talking about pharmaceuticals. This is how they're thinking. Because you really don't want to cure people, so you give them something to sustain them. And in sustaining them, they keep coming back to you because you control the frequencies of the airways. Meaning that if gonorrhea is down or the STD count is down, if I own gonorrhea and I patent that and trademark it, and I got the cure or the sustainable medicine for it, and the stock market is down in this area of medicine, right? What happens is I would turn the frequencies up on people who eat animals, right, that consist of Chlamydiae parasites. So when these Chlamydia parasites get into our cells, they start to rupture the DNA. And in so, signals is sent to the white blood cells, which are the antibodies, which hold something called phagocytes. Phagocytes is Phagocytes. Look it up. These phagocytes are supposed to come to your defense whenever something is extraterrestrial or foreign to the body that don't supposed to be there. Don't you know that pathogen bacillus? Pathogen bacillus. Bacillus is Bacillus. When the anthrax came out, they used inside of the component of this anthrax parasites or pathogens as a foundation to latch onto the skin of the people to attack them. It's called pathogen bacillus. So, when we take in or consume meat, right, the lipids in the meat becomes a bridge for these pathogens to leach onto. So when you ingest this meat, it goes down into your biochemical structure and it rides the waves of these red blood cells, damaging the stem. Because you have a stem inside of the red blood cell that acts as an antenna. This antenna is connected to the nucleus, which broadcasts signals to the other cells in the body. And those cells broadcast all the way up into the brainstem.